Hello everyone, my name is Riya and in this video I'm going to explain a program which is based on operator overloading. So first of all, let me read out the question for you. Write a C++ program to create a class called date, accept two valid dates in the form of day, month and year. Implement the following operations by overloading the operators plus and minus. The following operations, that is, we have to calculate the number of days. We'll be entering the two dates. So from those two dates we have to calculate the number of days, and again we'll be entering the number of days which will be added to the second date and the new date will be displayed. Now we have to implement these operations by overloading the operators plus and minus. Now after every operation is done, we have to display the results by overloading the insertion operator. Since we have understood the question, now let us see how to write the code for this program. First of all, we'll be declaring this header file, that is #include iostream, and the standard library file using namespace std. Then we have defined the class over here, that is, we have named the class as date. Now the date has data members, that is month, day, year and month, of array size 13. Now this size should not be less than 12. It should be minimum 12, and maximum can be any value. And inside the class we are declaring some of the functions, and which will be defining outside this class date. We have declared a constructor. Now I've given a message constructor declaration. We have declared a constructor which will be defining outside the class. Then again we have declared a function which will be used to read the data from the user. That means the user will be entering the data. Then we have declared the operator. We have declared the function operator overloading for minus, and then this one is for plus, operator overloading for plus. We have overloaded plus operator. Now here we have overloaded, this is the function declaration for overloading insertion operator. Now outside, since we have declared all these functions inside the class, we have to define it outside the class. So this way we will be defining the constructor outside the class. This is the syntax for declaring the constructor outside the class. What is the main function of a constructor? The main function of a constructor is to initialize the data members. So since we know each month has there are a different number of days in different months, so there are some set of months which has number of days as 31, and some months which have number of days as 30. There is only an exception, that is February has either 28 or 29 days. So we'll be initializing for the months which are having the number of days as 31. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 8 and 10 and 12 month has number of days as 31, and 4, 6, 9 and 11 month has number of days as 30. Only month 2, that is February, has number of days as 20. Now this function read will be used to take the input from the user, that is, the user will be entering the date in this format, and after that we will be defining the overloaded function, that is, first of all, for minus operator we'll be seeing. So in this we are able to see that I have initialized number of days, that is number of days, as 0. So first of all, this condition is checked. Now we are entering two dates. The first date that we are entering, that date's year will be compared with the date which we entered second. So if that is less than the year which we have entered second time, or all these conditions will be checked. If any of these conditions is true, then it will be displaying, the compile will be displaying that subtraction is not possible. Else we will be coming inside a this part, and then we will be seeing there's a while loop, and this condition is checked. That is, if the first day that we entered that year is not equal to the year that we entered second time, or if any of these conditions, that is month that we entered first is not equal to the month that we entered second, or day is not equal to the day that we entered second. If any of these conditions is true, then number of days that which we had initialized as 0 will be incremented by 1, and the number of days that we had declared, we had entered, the user had entered, will also be incremented by 1. Now again, the condition is checked. That is, if the year that we had entered second time, mod 4, is equal to 0, or the month which we had entered second time is equal to 2. If it is true, then this condition will be executed. That is, again this condition is checked whether the number of days that we entered second time is greater than 29. If it is so, then this condition will be executed. That is, the number of month will be incremented, the month will be incremented by 1. Else, this condition is checked whether d2.month is greater than 12. If it is true, then d2.month will be equal to 1, and d2.year will be incremented, and finally the number of days will be returned. Then this is how we will be defining the plus operators function. So here, first of all, this condition is checked while number not equal to 0. If number is not equal to 0, then number will be decremented by 1 value, and day will be incremented by 1 value. Then this condition is checked whether year mod 4 is equal to 0 and month is equal to 2. If it is so, then this condition is checked whether number of days is greater than 29. If it is so, then this condition will be executed. If this condition is true, then this part will be executed, and then we'll be returning the value. Now we had declared a friend function inside the class that is for the output stream, that is for the O stream, that is for the insertion operator. So that is basically for displaying the date in the required format. So using this, the format which is expected will be displayed, and in the main method we'll be declaring the objects, that is d1, d2 and int number. So first of all, the user will enter the first date, and seeing this is the function call, and the values that was entered by the user will be copied, and the user will be asked to enter the second date, and number is equal to d1 minus d2. Now using this, the compiler will see that using minus operator there is a function call, and it will go to that part of the program. Similarly for the plus operator. Now let us see how this program runs. Let me enter a date. Suppose 23 10 1996. Okay, sorry, I'll just enter it once again. To enter 23 10 1996. So then 12, month suppose 4, and year it should be subtraction not possible, because this is greater than this, and if I want to add 12, number of days is 12, so it will be adding. Now let us again see. entering a valid date, for example 23/10 1998 and 23/10 and 2009. So actually this value should be less than this value. So the number of days between year 1993 to 1998 is 1837, and if I want to add 34 days to the date to which we had entered, so it will be calculating, and the new date after adding these many days would be 15/11/1993. So this is how the program works. Thank you.